Alright, so before I start the video, I'm going to quickly apologize for the background noise. We have painters in the house, and they have a heat gun going on in my room, so that's pretty fun. Pretty much here, I'm just going to be releasing this cannon that me and MythicalSnowman made. We pretty much made the whole thing together. So we had to make it RSB, because we were going to originally use it on Psycho, because Psycho kind of has weird things with his roof cannon patches, which is really nice, so we could easily exploit it. However, we never actually ended up using it, even though it got tested, not by us, though. And whatever, so we explain how this cannon works a little bit. I'm not really going to go completely in depth, not going to be showing all the code that we use to find the ratios and everything. I'll credit where credit's needed, pretty much. So first I'm going to be showing off it firing and that it works. You can see this is going to be at 255.0. And it just dips down there. If I remove the block to also prove that it does that exact same thing there. To show it's not like, I don't know. Some people might think it's sliding, so I don't know. But if I go here and I go in T-Bug, you can see it's 255.0. And if I go here, it's here in the barrel. And I'm going to quickly explain how we get to exactly go there. So basically, this is just a left shooter pretty much. Because you're sending TNT here, and then you're just shooting it that way. I guess it's a right shooter, but whatever. So, there's TNT here, and your projectile's here, it goes that way, but here's the thing. The projectile is at 254.98098, whatever that decimal is, you see there. And the power, when it explodes, it's actually at 9804, so it gets a very small amount of Y velocity upwards. And we can't just use one power, which is why all of these 4 powers in different exposures, even though they go off at the same exact time, is because with one power, or only like one, whatever location, or one exposure, there's not enough combinations each run. So using 4 powers is much easier to find a ratio for. However, there definitely are 1 power ratios that will be found at some point. We're not really sure. So, pretty much, I mean, like, the cannon here. So, it's very ratio dependent. So we had to have the very little Y velocity, and we have to give it just enough Y velocity at 255.0. Enough so that it goes up, but not too much so that it goes up for a second time, because we don't want to give it extra Y velocity, so it goes up again, because we want it to dip down at the base wall. So, pretty much, I mean, there's not really much to say here, besides Snowman find the Y levels for the power whenever I ran my script, whatever, to find the ratio for how much TNT everything is. And I guess I can explain like what you can do with it. So what you can do with this ratio, I guess, is if you take these powers, whatever, and you take the projectile, put it here, you can make it so you can have an order of entity sand comp, which has your sand turn into an entity, and 7 blocks goes into an entity state before your hammer even spawns. I guess you could say render sand before hammer. And what you can do with that is you can order of entity stack on their base wall if you get it to dip in the right spot. And if you use this power here, is meant to make it dip at the right spot, because this is at the same exact Y level as the projectile, and it hits here and it doesn't swing because it gets tunneled in the sugarcane that's here. So it doesn't swing, it just gives it only extra whatever velocity that way. And that's why this right here is really nice. And before anybody else complains when they try pasting this in their plot, make sure you're facing east-west, and it does not work with the east-west patch on, because we were making it for Psycho. I mean, there's not really much to say about it, because there's not really many questions people have asked me about it besides, oh, is it a mid-air, is it legal, is it not legal, stuff like that, and nothing about how it really works. So, if anybody really has questions about how it works, I guess leave a comment rather than leaving it on Discord, because I kind of want other people to understand it too, and not just me have to say the same thing every time for this type of thing.